What's up, YouTube? Pastor Bob. So I'm reading this and watching this show here about President Trump receiving a expensive plane from Qatar, right? He said, "Oh, I'd be a fool for not accepting it, and it's this and that, and blah blah blah." And I got to thinking, well, when I was in Desert Storm, Desert Shield, um, Saudi Arabia offered each one of the troops that was there helping as a gift of $10,000, and that was supposed to be given to each one of the soldiers. And the president said, "Oh, we're not mercenaries," and refused it. And I'm like, well, wait a minute here. Uh, they were just going to gift it to us as a thank you. No different than gifting a plane. So it's okay to screw us people who risked our life versus a president that just sits up there and eats the best of the best and can make whatever freaking decisions that he wants. There's some things in life that are just bullshit. Even as a pastor, I sit back and I see it. So I say, no, you shouldn't. And that should be just the way it is. So if you're going to do that, then maybe all the people that took out and had to postpone any home loans and deferred payments that cost a lot of us $30,000 during COVID. I think that all of those should be paid off. It'd only be right. Well, where's our $10,000? We was the ones that put our life on the line. President Trump hasn't done jack shit. He's had it fluff his whole life. His whole family's had it fluff their whole life. Well, that's just how I feel. There's just some things that go overboard. I don't always agree with everything that he does. I mean, that's just me. Because I don't play into frickin' politics, because I think it's all stupid anyway. But one thing that I will say is there's good and bad in any president. What's their motive? What's their agenda? I mean, and don't be so damn repetitive. He's always repetitive on everything. Sounds like clown work to me. You know? If you put yourself out there to be an intelligent person, at least speak intelligent. And by repeating stuff doesn't mean that people are going to be sucked into it. I don't know if he's into this brain training thing or what he's trying to do. Soften the blows. I mean, the American people ain't stupid. Sure, you're doing a lot of good things, but at the same time, what are the bad things that are occurring? I mean, there needs to be a balance. I mean, I think he's going too fast. He needs to slow his roll. Because, man, I don't care what the media says. I know what people say in the private sector. And they're all saying the same thing. He needs to slow down a little bit. It's because you're the president. You're not God. He needs to slow down. I look at everything that goes on in the world. And as a pastor, you have to. Have to know what's going on. I don't follow sports, so I don't give no updates on sports. But when it comes to world events, I mean, it's kind of crazy. Everything's just really crazy. I think all of the stuff that's going on had a different agenda. There's something else. I can't put my finger on it. There's something else going on. And this ain't a Democratic thing, and this ain't a Republican thing. There's something else. I haven't quite figured it all out yet, but I think there's a rat in a tunnel trying to burrow his way in somewhere. I haven't quite figured it all out yet. But there's quite a few people that are in dialogue with me about this. Something's just not befitting about the whole situation. And I'm sure everybody's got their own opinion, and this is my opinion, which everybody that knows me generally knows that. I have my private thoughts, but I don't voice my public thoughts generally. But I think he needs to slow down, and I think, taking the whole plane, some people might say, oh, well, it's a free plane. They're giving a gift. Well, Saudi Arabia was going to give us a gift, too, at $10,000 to each soldier as a thank you. And what did the U.S. government do? Gave us the finger. So if you take the plane, I think that every soldier that served in combat during Operation Desert Storm, Desert Shield, when Saudi Arabia was going to give us all $10,000 as a gift, I think we should all get that gift. And I think the U.S. government should pay us that gift. That's exactly how I feel. Without question. Period. You guys could chime in if you want. We know what you think. But that's how I feel. Why should we be at a loss and you be at a gain? Why? Because it's a presidential plane? Look, if you want us to do your bidding, you better pay up. Because remember, there's always somebody else ready to go into the, into the seat. Always. And I think that Congress, needs to chime in and say, look, we can't really do that, because it doesn't look right. We can't, say no to our troops and not having any money as a thank you, and then you take a $300 billion plane. Or $300 million plane, however much it costs. That's just not fair. It's not. It's just not fair. And if you're going to make fair, then you need to pay all of us that served in Operation Desert Storm, Desert Shield, $10,000 that you said we couldn't have. You want to make fair? That would be fair. That's all I got to say. Take care. God bless. Pastor Bob, I'm out of here, sir.